All right, so Aaron, you want to come on up? He's got an update for us.
Good morning. I am here representing elders, pastors, I don't know who else. There may be a few others mixed in there as well. But simply to give you a little bit of an update, but also just I want to begin by saying how encouraged I and others of us on the leadership team have been over the past several weeks as we have seen gradually, slow but sure, more of our church family returning to in-person worship. We realize everybody's moving at their own pace, everybody's got their own criteria, but each time we see somebody we haven't seen for a while, no joke, it really is a serious encouragement. It's encouraging to see our fall programs starting up and people coming and all those sort of things. And among the many ways that it has encouraged me, one of those points of encouragement is that it does assure me that the season of COVID is not going to last forever. Someday, I don't know what normal is going to be. We've talked about not going back to normal, but it's not always going to be this way. And the fact that many of you have begun to come back has been an encouragement to me. At the same time, what I also want to make clear is, again, coming just from a leadership perspective, what these past few weeks of starting the fall ministry season, having more and more of you come back have shown us is that worship in the season of COVID is extremely complicated. We want it to be easy, we want it to be accessible, but we're no different than any other group, organization, whatever, it's just complicated. It's not been easy to work out, and we have discovered there's no one right way to do church. There's no way to satisfy everyone's preferences, and that includes those of us making the decisions. We all have had to flex and compromise. And so with that, very quickly, there are three things I want to say to that or in light of that. Number one, I just want to remind you, or those of you who may just be rejoining us in person, let you know what we're trying to do to accommodate as many people as possible. Now, most of you know this, but hang with me because I'm going to get to some stuff you need to know. In here, we've got some space on the sides for a little bit of social distancing. We're doing the best we can with that. And then the middle is completely open, and you are more than welcome to wear masks in either or both places. But we have tried to provide that. So in here, we can accommodate some of those desires for social distancing for those who want that and those who do not. Across the street, the Kingston room, which is right when you go in to the right, that is a socially distanced mask optional room that we live stream the service. The Commons prayer room at the other end of the building is a socially distanced mask required gathering room where we live stream. So those are a couple of options. But then this morning we've added one more thing, or at least we've tried to enhance one more thing, because what a lot of people have been telling us is they want to be in the building, but not necessarily in the sanctuary. So we have added seating downstairs. We were doing very minimal, but we're finding some families like that. So you can be in the building, you can be near people, you can hear those of us up here a little bit better. And if that works for you, masks are optional, but the chairs are spread out, and we encourage you, if that's a good step back for you, we want you to take advantage of that. Is all of that ideal? No. Have we taken the responsibility seriously? Yes. We are trying very, very hard to be as responsible as we can. And we just want you to know we haven't taken any of these decisions lightly. So that's what we are doing. Secondly, what we're willing to do. And here's where I'm speaking for the pastors, the elders. We're willing to listen, okay? Some of you have very graciously reached out to us over the past few weeks. Phone call, email, letter, asking questions, wanting clarification. And we've done our best to follow up on each of those and listen and respond and adapt where we can. Now, we know we haven't been able to answer everybody's questions. We know we haven't been able to adopt a bunch of new ideas. But we want you to know we have been listening and we will listen. And the best way to work those things out is to talk. And maybe you've got an idea that we can use to continue to deal with this sort of in-between season. Our aim is to take it seriously. I can't promise you we're going to do what you want, but I can promise you we will listen and pray about what you share with us because we want each person in our church to be heard. Then third, and then I'm off the stage until later, what we want to ask. Okay, here's what we want to ask. We told you what we're doing, what we're willing to do. Here's what we want to ask. You know, since the shutdown began in March, God has almost from day one brought a verse to my mind over and over again for me. And now it's to share with you, and that's 1 Corinthians 13:7. 1 Corinthians 13:7 says this: love bears all things, love hopes all things, love believes all things, and love endures all things. In the past 7 months, we've all been asked to bear a lot, here and elsewhere. We've all been asked to do things we don't want to do, we don't like to do, we like things the way they were or are, and we don't like to change. And it looks like we're going to have to do that for a while longer. I don't know how long. I hope it's not real long. And so here's what I'm asking, and this is just my pastoral heart to yours as brothers and sisters. Let's each determine we're going to bear with one another. Okay, your brothers and sisters don't see things the same way you do. I don't see them the way, and you don't see them the same way I do. But we can bear with one another for the sake of the gospel, for the sake of Jesus. We can bear with one another. Secondly, let's choose to believe the best about each other. Maybe it's the mask issue. Maybe it's the distancing issue. Maybe it's the in-person versus home. Could we just begin, as we look at what others are doing, begin from the position of I choose to believe the best about you. Not that you're immature, not that you're scared, not that you're wrong or that I'm right. Just think the best. Believe. That's what it says. Believes all things, right? It says it hopes all things. Let's hope. Hope is a certainty with God. Let's trust him in the hope that this is going to end soon and that he has a plan in it all. And then let's keep asking him for the daily grace to endure this season together. So take that as an admonition, an exhortation, an encouragement, whatever it is. But stick to 1 Corinthians 13:7, and we're going to be okay, all right?